Hello, 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 welcome. So, I'm going to read for the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine for July 2023. And I choose this theme. Uh, I thought it can be important. So, we will be exploring Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, and also the relationship in between them. Okay, so I have so many decks with me, and let's see. Let's start with a deck. Okay, so I'm going to first begin from the Divine Feminine, and in order to reveal the Divine Feminine's energy to start with, I'm going to use symbolic cards because this is going to refer to their more unconscious settings or conscious settings. So let's find out now. So, what is the energy for the Divine Feminine in July? The energy for the Divine Feminine, please. We will be also, by the way, I will be also using the uh, shadow deck also. And with the shadow deck, I will also offer a healing modality through again the cards. So it's going to be a complementary reading. It's not just revealing what it is or mentioning them, but it's also bringing some kind of a guidance to the reading as well. So to start with, let's see how the divine feminines are doing right now. It's a collective reading, of course. When you consider the divine feminine, you need to understand this from a more universal term. Okay, it's not a sign-based reading or a personal reading. So you need to be more of like a observer of the general energy and how much of it do you get influence. Okay, so the divine feminine energy, please. For divine feminines. So divine feminine energy, we have, wow, okay, so the divine feminine energy has come with the Cancer Sagittarius, uh, Cancer Sagittarius energy, and okay, so it seems divine feminines at this time, uh, they are so much moved emotionally, and this emotion actually resurfacing from a past time, from an earlier time. Actually, it wants to uh, resurface now. So it's an emotion which has been going around for some time, and now it wants to resurface. So divine feminine is very much attuned with their emotions. They are in emotional attunement, as one can expect from divine feminines. And now all the emotions which are going deep down, as they want to resurface, they want to find a particular conscious expression. Okay, so it's, I feel divine feminine um, is like so much feeling, but this is not a feeling, it's like an emotion which was like long time uh, in them. And they as they gonna surface this emotion to their consciousness, they are going to see if this is creating something optimistic for them, if this is creating some good to their well-being. um, so this is going to um, give them a lot of perspective around their emotions, so what they are feeling. So actually we can, you can think about this in a way that usually we are always more attentive, or want to wonder about how the other person feel about us. in tarot question most of the time in tarot questions most of the time we ask how the other person feels about us. So for the divine feminine, as of July 2023, and please don't forget there is also this Cancer season going on. So Cancer is also about emotions. So it's pretty much that reflective energy. So Cancer is also a feminine sign. So actually, it's a really good time to make divine feminine and divine masculine reading. So I think divine feminine has so much to give, because this energy with the moon and the Jupiter, it is like making them so, so, so generous, and also like warm-hearted, and it's like more, how do they say, um, as they can bring these emotions to their consciousness, it can actually make them also to leave, feelings of depression, some weird moods. So divine feminine really needs to express themselves. They need this emotional attunement with their own feelings first. So rather than wondering how the other person feel about them, they are more this, and also they can use the advantage of this month to get attuned with their own emotions. But don't forget, this emotion is uh, something which has moved them in an earlier time. Okay, so it can be like a midwife. So they are going to give birth to this emotion which was running like earlier um, in them, as it is stated in this card. There is also here, I feel divine feminines also, under this Cancerian energy, there is this feeling of like to be hospitable, kind, and forgiving. Doesn't mean forgetting, because cancers does not forget. They have an elephant memory, but forgiving does not mean forgetting, or it does not necessarily mean you are accepting that person back to your life, but it is more about like to get to leave that burden of this heavy feelings like go from you. Okay, so I want you to think about forgiving in that sense. It's not about, okay, I forgive now, let's come to my life back again. It's not in that sense. It's about just releasing that heavy emotions. Actually, as the divine feminine let these feelings to come to their, sorry, emotions to come to their conscious awareness, they will feel quite opinionated about how they are feeling. And then, because we have also the Jupiter influence here, so divine feminines here, um, at some point they are going to, um, I think, possess this strong sense of what is right or what is wrong for them. Okay, but this is not applicable to the emotion or the feeling, because there is no this right feeling or oops my cards. There is no this right feeling or the wrong feeling. Okay, so under this influence, though, as they bring that earlier emotions to their conscious awareness, they are going to possess a strong sense of right or wrong um, towards their outside environment. Okay, so this is something also I find to be quite uh, fascinating, um, as these resurfaces are happening. I also feel divine feminines try to bring some type of a polarity within themselves. They try to make peace with that polarity. They try to make peace uh, with that opposites within themselves, apart from judging the situations like right or wrong. So, and I do feel as they understand what is really going on emotion wise in them, they are going to uh, how to say also support their immediate surroundings. So actually the power of the divine feminine in the relationships and expressions all comes as they delve deep into themselves and bring out that earlier emotions which has moved them. This is going to give them a lot of um, this is going to give them a lot of um, power, I have to say. um, I feel also divine feminine, you know, is is willing to support people in a way that who are not really always appreciated. Um, they are like they are not like dealing here things in a like a rational manner. So there is this very soft, there is this very um, natural, this very organic way of understanding things, I have to say. Oops, just a sec. Okay. Uh, I feel divine feminines around July will be like good, very good, also storytellers. Okay, so there is a storytelling energy, and when they communicate these stories, this is going to be, I think, very um, affectionate for the divine masculine as well. Now, let me get some tarot cards. Just a sec. Okay. So, tarot energy for divine feminine. Divine feminine for July, please. Divine feminine for July, please. Okay. So, the first message for the divine feminine, we have, okay, hangman. Hangman. Hangman is quite reflective and very much open to new perspectives. So it goes well with the divine feminine energy. in the Cancer time, because as divine feminine delve into their own emotional world, they are going to find even that earlier emotions, they will evaluate it with a very new perspective. Divine feminine energy at this time is not rushing. Absolutely, there is something still on hold, and it's like you have the heart. They have the heart, but the key is not available yet. The key is not available yet, because reflecting on your emotions and bring them to your conscious awareness, rather than wondering how the other person is feeling about you, but as you attune to your own emotions, you are going to unlock first yourself. This is going to be very important discovery for divine feminines, because they, until this time, they were all about the feelings of the other person. They weren't, then it seems, were attuned with their own feelings. So the hangman energy is definitely bringing that self reflection. Just a second. Okay, so the next message for divine feminine. It's getting a good reading, and I really like the Cancer season touch to it, to be honest. So the next message is we have the wow, Queen of Wands. So divine feminines, you got the Queen of Wands, which is a fire energy. It's also uh, the last decan of Cancer is actually in the Thoth Tarot, for instance, is described by Page of Wands, which is a fire energy. And this is also, again, after the 22nd of July, uh, near, let's say from the 20th, like last 10 days of July, they will be like super confident and magnetic, as they now know what has uh, what has had surfaced um, from them, and they will be really exploring how they gonna find a way to unlock their heart. They are finally reaching that understanding what is going to actually unlock their heart. Okay, and this is going to be in the way Queen of Wands does things. So here there is some sense of um, with the Queen of Wands energy, you pretty much know what a person wants. So they pretty much know what they want. Um, they are they are very creative and expressive, and as I have mentioned, divine feminine in July can be really good storytellers and narrate their experiences in a very powerful and creative way, in a very wise way. Um, there is going to be, in divine feminine, it's that feeling of one has that full possession of their feminine energy, and as one has that full possession of their feminine energy, and finding a great satisfaction from that, I do feel divine feminines have definitely a beautiful aura, very something very profound to allow them, um, also, not to become like overwhelmed with practical matters, but they are like, I feel super attuned. Um, they are like cultivating their um, feminine intuitive powers. They are like beginning to get themselves their confidence back. And for also, there is this revisiting what really intimacy means for them. So they're gonna uh, revisit and reevaluate what real intimacy for them, because they are definitely trying to find the expression here. So intimacy here, not just something physical, but um, here there is this willingness to create more time. And divine feminine also wants to allow their inner child to more of like emerge into a more um, playful way. Okay, so here actually, you know, they are really, I think, as of July, divine feminine is really catching their breath, and in the Cancer season there is a really good um, opportunity for that. It's also about finding your natural enthusiasm, finding your inner child. Um, this is going to also soften the heart. This is going to allow for greater receptivity, intuition. Um, yeah, and definitely divine feminine is having their power back. There is also a lot of sensuality here, and it is effortless. The thing is, the sensuality here is absolutely effortless. There is this warmth, and there is this some type of a very potent getting attuned with your own emotional richness, let's say. Okay, so this is why we are talking about this, because it's going to be um, contribute to the um relationships and connections, and this is the quality that the divine feminine will be displaying. And the next is, here we have the Ten of Pentacles, which is the, well, we have the great whale here. Okay, so there is something really big coming. There is something really big coming here. Divine feminine is really also, well, the cards are showing up in a way for divine feminine. There is not only some emotional realizations into their own inner world, inner child, sensuality, and intimacy reviewing within themselves, but there is also here a great opportunity for the divine feminine to um, discover these inner virtues, and there is this values, skills, talents, um, and with all these quality of things I'm talking about from the very beginning, they are likely to establish their conditions, or they are going to attract already established connections to themselves. That can be here. Divine feminine is also when it comes to material life. There is some divine feminines may have with the Ten of Pentacles, the ocean is yours. So we have the big whale and the oceans, the biggest whale. Imagine the biggest whale on earth that exists. Okay, just now skip the humans being their worst enemy, but imagine this biggest whale is like the ocean is yours. The ocean is just yours, and you don't have any um, someone at the chain at the top of you. Well, again, imagine the humans are not your here, of course, worst enemy. So here actually, um, there is this type of a, uh, material rewards, possessions will come to them. There is also some inheritance energy here, some common properties for divine feminine to support her physical condition, properties, something with owning, buying, selling house, properties, or other estates, like contributing to their also material well-being. So here, I think the whole idea with also the hangman here and with also the ten of pentacles energy, we were also Queen of Wands. I mean, the cards are actually great because then this is going to put the divine feminine in a way that they can um, consolidate like all the past experiences. Divine feminine can have the capacity to consolidate all the past experiences, and as they consolidate all these past experiences with the also emotional emotions that will be like also resurfacing from their past to their conscious awareness, um, they are going to really opening themselves up for new opportunities. So there is some kind of a new foundation is forming for them. um, Divine feminine, after this inner transformative experience, like from the depths of the ocean to the outside world, they seek stability, solidity, a sense of belonging and comfort, I have to say. uh, I do feel like divine feminine also wants to bring out their talents and skills, uh, their inner values at this time will be a great wealth, especially um, which is come in a positive way from maybe some ancestral background or family background. This is also something very important. So divine feminine energy will have these tools, will have these opportunities in order to uh, share and utilize so that they can bring some kind of a service around us as well, which is going to be very helpful to embody also that feminine energy. It's not also feeling the feminine energy, but also how do you and how do you embody it, right? So this is it's like actually for the divine feminine, there are experiences that they are already waiting and ready, but first they got to figure out to whom this heart really wants to open itself up. Okay. um, it's like the term in Taoism or in Sanskrit. We have the yoni. So it's actually the sacred temple. So and also with the heart, of course, to what it's going to be opening itself up. And after this contemplation and self-reflection, divine feminine will be able to actually show the outside world as, of course, involving the divine masculine, their talents, um, and as they open up, there is going to be return, uh, a flow of this return. This is also something here, I think. we need to mention. Um, I will be also talking about the shadow as well, by the way, in case, and also I will offer a healing modality or and what divine feminine needs to also surround it. We will also talk about the dark part as well. So we are going to cover it because we need to because um, here you see the we have the also the dark and the night, uh, dark night and also the daytime. So it's divine feminine. It's like in that gate, like in that gateway, like very close to explore their shadow and also the um how they can utilize it to their awareness, conscious awareness, this type of thing. Now, here things really needs to go slow, okay? Because now let me get the shadow card and the surrender deck. I don't see a risk of getting caught in apathy or boredom, but divine feminine like shouldn't fear like to lose things and not to limit themselves by judgments, okay, is important for the divine feminine. Creating, using the gifts that divine feminine is given um, is very important tools to use in this journey. So what is the shadow of time for the divine feminine? The shadow of time, the shadow for the divine feminine. As we find out the shadow, actually, we can also now explore where things get also difficult. So we are giving a heads up, a warning also to the divine feminine about what the shadow here can be. Okay, so divine feminine shadow. This is very important, guys, because I really look at things from a holistic perspective. So it's not about dark or light things, it's about the integration of both. I think this is the first rule to be authentic as a person. Um, so for the divine feminine, we have the excuses. Shadow of the divine feminine has come as the excuses. We will be also, of course, exploring it in this way in the divine masculine part as well. But from the divine feminine's part, we have the excuses. Okay, so divine feminine shadow has come as excuses. So to by also considering our uh, here previous card and energy, we may you know I feel divine feminine is find a way for self-soothing, um, maybe feeling that they are not ready. So excuse in a way can be actually the shadow here can work very interestingly because here the shadow can work as bring to divine feminine like something like let's say self-soothing so that they can gather their energy, they can you know gather their self-esteem at that time. They can make their anxiety to get low, they can make their some maybe depressive thoughts, they can make it low because excuses actually here they function and they serve in a way it reduces stress in people. This is how people cope with. Um, Even actually, it can even boost your immune system. Really, if you don't feel ready for something. Um, so, excuse actually here, uh, divine feminine wants to protect themselves, okay, at some point. So using excuse to protect themselves, so it's like otherwise maybe it's going to be like cracking the egg like so earlier, okay. And they don't want to be judged harshly, maybe when they feel they're gonna underperform, okay. So here then the idea is, um, the shadow is like, maybe there is this something like to want to be perfect in the other person's eyes. This could be the shadow of the divine feminine, to seem like very perfect, and manipulating in one's way to become that, to make yourself appear like that. But deep down you have these deep insecurities. Maybe they are afraid to fail other people's expectations. um, so there is this want to become feeling. Uh, so here the idea is, as the divine feminine have these excuses now, coming as shadow, they are actually shifting the energy from direct responsibility to the things that actually they cannot control, and it's outside of their control. So then why this is happening? Because it's, why excuses? Because it's a painless way. It's the painless way to um, escape its tendency in a place where you need to maybe or would compromise. So here, um, excuse me. Um, but then, as the shadow, it may appear as, in a time where there is like a point that they need to make some move, or actually they have this opportunity, talents, and anything to, it's like to fall back. Um, okay, so I understand, but this is going to be a deep work in terms of divine feminine. Deep work. Actually, maybe it is also because that divine feminine wants to seek familiarity. It can be, there can be doubt about themselves, to feel not ready, to feel scared, not motivated. So they can fall then in between the first scenario I was talking about, the light and empowering one, but also this. Here, this is not about good or bad, but it's better for divine feminine to know each scenario and also the shortcomings, the handicaps, so that they can better navigate. Okay. So what healing modality? So here we have the shadow, my shadow healing cards. This is, it says Aboriginal guidance cards, shadow healing. So what? Okay, let's get this one. So we have the card of anguish. Okay, so the healing um, message for the divine feminine is simply knowing there is an end to this feeling of sorrow is the very beginning of your healing process. So divine feminine needs to understand that actually every situation or thing we go through is temporary, but it's like divine feminine is like thinking this gonna go like forever maybe. Yes, at times we all feel that like something is just gonna keep repeating and it's just gonna we gonna stay in that uh, like forever. But actually, uh, you need to understand divine feminine. The anguish, by the way, is a very strong and powerful word, but there will be in the end an end to all of these. This is what divine feminine needs to remember. And to anguish and to this sorrow, feeling of sorrow. And the moment you understand there is an end of it, the healing journey begins. So it's that's why maybe divine feminine keeps coming with the excuses because they think this is gonna take forever and every time producing excuse. So this is also something, but here they have actually the 10 of Pentacles energy with the very much confident Queen of Wands. But all these inner situations I'm talking about, it is okay to go through that. This is not something like one is bad or good. This is just a natural organic process that the divine feminine now goes through, and they will understand their process as they delve. Wow. Okay. So we have the now let's get the divine feminine's cards in one my side. So these are all divine feminine's cards now. So I will get them to this side. We also find the shadow. And now let's explore what divine masculine is all about. Just a second. There's something in the computer I'm trying to understand. Okay, I think we are back. We need to wait a bit. Okay, I hope my screen will come back. Let me check the sound. Okay, the sound is available here. I don't see myself, but I see myself from the other computer. Oh, okay, I'm back. So, just a sec, please. Okay, now let's continue from the divine masculine. We have finished the divine feminine. Oh, no, actually, I will add something with the divine feminine I forgot. So, in addition to what we found about divine feminine, I'm going to get my deck of power of surrendering. And again, um, as a contribution to the reading, I want to see what divine feminine needs to surrender. What divine feminine needs to surrender. So divine feminine needs to surrender. Ah, yes, makes sense. Because we talked about discovering the inner child. Remember, from my first interpretation of the cards, we had the surrender to play with the divine feminine. Yes, completely makes sense. It's about taking a break from overthinking a goal, doing something fun, plays a time of recreation and renovation. And you know what? This would be also a nice time to use this, Venus retrograde, and also the shadow days prior, uh, in the best way. So in July, though, Venus retro will start, I think, as of like the second half. Before that, there's going to be the shadow phase. So here there is something, and also the Venus in Leo. So it's play, it's child, inner child energy. It's about fun, right? Heartfelt emotions. Excuse me. So it makes sense. Okay. So, surrender to play. I'm very happy to have this card. So, it feels like after that, finding the resurfacing emotion and thinking about your Ten of Pentacles energy. Um, and if you want to take, if Divine Feminine wants to take themselves to a bit safer spot, it's okay to through the excuses as shadow, but can be usable in this one. They really need to give themselves to play and this fun and this light-hearted energy. It's for renovation. It's about to self-regulate, especially regulating your nervous system. Okay, for the overthinking goal here is actually in the shadow. Of course, it can be the Queen of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles energy. Like things will be enough. Things will be enough. It is going. You will have enough time and tools. You are given that already. You will be given that. That's your blessing also. Um, but there is some. You need to come to your that sensuality and childlike energy. How difficult is that? It's easier said than done, really. But one needs to tune into that. I also even thinking, where is when was the last time I tap into my inner child in like with what I reward myself. I usually go to the old photos and search from the other family members, and I seek the childhood memories. I sometimes try to understand as a woman, what would really make as a child, when I was back in I because I see it in the photos. Oh, we were doing this, we were so happy. So I try to create that experience. What would give me that now? There are ways, there are techniques. Also, a child needs, of course, joy, comfort, security, everything. So that childhood play energy is, I find it very important, to be honest, in a person's life. Okay, now let's leave the divine feminine energy and let's go back to the divine masculine now. Okay, we have our cards here. But of course, we are going to begin first with the symbolic cards. Okay, and I will follow the cards order as I did in the divine feminine reading. Okay, so for divine masculine, what energy we have here? Divine masculine energy, please. What do we need to know about the divine masculine energy? What we need to know about the divine masculine energy? What we need to know about the divine masculine energy for July 2023. Okay, let's find out now the card corresponding to divine masculine energy. You see the Emperor? This is a super Leo energy. So again, it is corresponding to the actually Mars is in Leo, Venus is in Leo now, and there's going to be Venus retrograde in Leo. Leo is the leadership, and this card is literally the Leo Sun energy. It's actually the energy of father, leader, and quite corresponding to the Queen of Wands energy that we have also picked for the divine feminine. But at the downside, that's a lot of ego. Okay, actually, ego. Let's say ego unprocessed. When the ego is unprocessed, it becomes toxic and shadow. But when we really process the ego, well, ego is a healthy thing, again, to preserve your rights here. Here the servitor. Okay, so someone serving. We have someone serving. Okay, now let's explore this. Wow, the cards are just amazing. The cards are just amazing. We just need to take the advantage of them and also try not to fall into their shadows. So divine masculine is in their full creativity. Why I have this feeling of divine masculine reading will be like more shorter than the feminines, because under this day and night energy of like moon-like energy, and divine masculines is like comes like this. It's definitely like empress and emperor actually. So we got it. We are definitely there with you. So there is a very primal energy about the divine masculines. There is also this feeling of like this fathership, being a father, or there will be many divine masculines who will be fathers. So they are waiting. Very creative, um, very fiery, and it's about like divine masculine will actually show up like what everyone needs to know, because it's bright, it doesn't hide, it's direct. So with this like using this like as a fuel. Okay, they are definitely in the full vital life, vital force. um I feel divine masculine energy like super gifted, super gifted. and they want to also create that, bring that gifts. But there is also a strong individuality and sense of self, which may not necessarily looking for like merge, but it's more about coming from a self expression and want to be like appreciated, let's say. There is the sense of importance. Actually, this month, I think divine masculines are coming with a bit more shadowy stuff, which actually promises a lot of light because because there is this saying: the more if something has more light, then they are going to cast a great shadow, right? So we actually, when we evaluate people, if we do not see them from a holistic point of view with their both shadow and light sides, and if we like give so many light concept of meanings to that person, the more light a person have, the great shadow they will cast. So this is the case in the divine masculine. And imagine that great shadow. Okay? So if one learns to integrate that, then they are authentic. Okay? It's called individuation. There are also actually there are a lot of things that divine masculine is motivated. First of all, we need to understand that they are motivated. They are they have this sense of self. They want to be praised and accepted, appreciated. Um, it's like they divine feminine has a lot of leadership energy, again very creative, very confident, um actually quite romantic, quite fun as well. But the thing is that uh, they you need to, as a divine feminine energy, you need to give opportunity to divine masculine to serve. Okay, so if you go as a divine feminine and take their responsibility, or if you say, oh, no need that, I am on my own and I will do everything on my own, they are not going to find a way to express their appreciation or gratitude. Or so you need to give opportunity to serve, because this is what the emperors are for. Otherwise people go this very super sense of self, and they need to serve as much as they can. This is how they gonna balance that ego. So they are also pretty much motivated to have this experience. uh, I mean, experiencing life as also joy and fun and laughter. And so there is a lot of fear to create in this also now summertime in the northern hemisphere, of course. They are going to tap to their creative expression, very outgoing, uh, and very much encouraging growth. So divine masculine don't want to be caged. They have a lot of service to bring. So in the collective influence really needs to influence that part of the divine masculine. Tarot cards. Okay, Seven of Swords, we have the deception of and strategy and being transparent. Divine masculine, okay. Now, this energy actually we said in the beginning is very much open to bring things to light and bright, but Three of Wands awaiting results. Oh, they are not going to show their efforts until they get the results, because with this way they will say, I am successful. So any effort given or put by divine masculine energy is not directly maybe felt, because they have a definitely strategy, and they are maybe not gonna show how much they do even. They will just evaluate their progress based on the results, as they are not so much like interested with the process itself. This is also reminding me, now this makes sense also astrologically, as the North Node will be in Aries. So we have these nodal shifts. So divine masculine energy, also under the influence of the nodal shift, will be pretty much self-driven, result-driven, not interested with the process of sitting and compromising, or so they are more about like keeping the process to themselves. But if they are asked, they can be also speaking about it. So if you are wondering, like, divine masculines know how, like, how do they set or make things happen in some way, they are not, it seems, going to be so much expressive about result process, but they will be more expressive about the result. So when you have a result in front of you, you may go, oh, how did you do it and how did you come here? So if you may be willing to learn and get curious about their process, they are more prone to share, let's say. And then we have the Two of Wands here. Again, planning and decisions. There is lots of books here. Okay, so I have to tell you that divine masculine is like, I'm gonna get also clarification for divine masculine cards. I didn't feel drawn to get clarification for the feminines, but for the masculines, I want to get some clarification cards. And I am searching my deck. Where did I put it? Is it here? Let's get the Sibilla. Okay. So, okay. Now, I feel divine masculine energy for the month of July. They have this big plan, and they want to have the first results, but they are not going to be so much expressing about it. And even they get the result, they may keep planning things. And they're gonna make a lot of decisions. There is a lot of research they go through. They are not so much expressive, but it's that feeling of, in the divine masculine, I need to organize and I need to lead. I need to organize and I need to lead. It's like seeing oneself like from a focal point. Presente di pietre preziose. There are valuable assets here and valuable things. Precious. Some valuable material possession. Oh my goodness, Nemico. Okay. Militare. Now, I will communicate with you some two aspects of the divine masculine. First, they can be very protective about possessions. They can be very protective about the possessions. That's why at this point we need to get a shadow card. They want to protect something to be taken away from them. They want to protect what is precious to them. They exactly know what to value and what to leave. They will have, divine masculine has a lot of competitors and enemy. This enemy may not be someone like known to them. That's why actually they are not on their guard, but they always need to plan and see through. The shadow for the divine masculine, let's find out. Oh, yes, embarrassment. They don't want to get embarrassed. But I feel here there is something like getting caught up, to get caught up. Then how to hide the embarrassment. Maybe there is a way or plan here, but it is old, or it is not maybe very acceptable. Something maybe not socially acceptable. They don't want to get maybe reactions for it. They go in their own way or own plan. They actually don't want to feel embarrassed in front of divine feminine. Divine masculine has a big shadow with the embarrassment. Oh, I fail, and now they're gonna like make fun of me. So this is the shadow here. That's why they plan something, they over plan and plan again. It's like no failure. So under the Leo energy, so it's like they need to organize, they need to lead, because their sense of self is important. They see themselves uh, pivotal. Um, Actually, here, they divine masculine energy at its best can be very generous, very warm, very strong. But actually, what they are learning in July is actually to be real confident in the relationships, also maintaining other relationships. And also, they are actually learning how they can encourage others to best way, uh, to what best way they can be. So look, in a way, they need to actually provide cohesiveness and direction to others. But first, they are here, try to manage to uh, organize their own direction. This is the point, and in that way, they don't want to fail. So they are like, this embarrassment shadow is like, oh, if I fail, what will other people say? What will they, do? So that's why in the, for instance, relationships, or this can be even in the, of course, collective unconscious. Actually, all shadow stuff here can be pretty much in the unconscious of the collective, but as it is brought now, like readings like this and other readings that my colleagues does, uh, they actually, there is so much expectation maybe from them. This is the problem. Like they have to, they shouldn't force things. They need to be self-assured, and things needs to come to them naturally. They shouldn't like force. They can use their vitality, popularity, divine, I mean, there is really but it's like that, it's like, I don't know the English word, but let's say you are an artist and you have always this fear of being in the stage, actually, like this it's like they actually need to do something naturally there, but it's always that traumatic experience, like making their stomach like having this cramps, it's so then there is an anticipation, expectation on the divine feminine, divine masculine, as they will be in the center stage. They will thrive on attention, approval, so they don't want to get embarrassed. It's like, again, it's like a actor actress on the stage, in an actor play, but like their performance will be, the critics will be there, and the premiere. So divine, and the all this period, maybe divine masculine actually does not want to express, but they have this definitely big fears. That's why they may go like under cover things, like um actually in the end, of course, there is going to be great deal of through these actions they can really find true values. They can overcome their insecurities. um, but it all comes down to how they gonna maintain a healthy sense of self. So, oh, okay, the healing opportunity. We have here the healing opportunity. So this is from the shadow of healing cards. Okay. Oh, a lot of paint in my hands. When you cannot find your own words to express how you feel, find an alternative way to communicate. What you have to say is important for others to heal. Okay, so I understand now. That's why we have this, you know, it's like they can't speak this, but they strategize what to communicate, something valuable to them. That is something they treasure, but they have struggled to express their feelings towards that thing. That's why they're gonna just look at the result and plan something maybe. But I think divine masculine then need to understand the words that will come from their mouth actually will be important for the others. So what they're gonna say can mean a lot for the other people. It shouldn't be perfect or like this, like ultimate speech or some explanation. They The way the tool they're gonna find, the alternative tool they're gonna find to communicate that will make a lot of difference, rather than sitting and hushing and not expressing. Okay, so then can we say that's why we are given the Leo energy. You have tools and given tools to express yourself, say to the divine masculine, and find a creative way to communicate that to the divine feminine. Don't just focus on your own ego, how I look, but value your internal process. Yes, it's okay. Maybe things you're gonna do, you need results for it. But the process is also very important. And maybe when you communicate the hidden meaning, when you really bring out your internal process to out in the open, this is gonna actually make you feel vulnerable to the other person, which is one of the key points about being intimate to the other person. So don't afraid from that, it says. So divine masculine energy actually, uh, again, we also talked about the blockages of the divine feminine. So it wants it the well, they learn to be confident but not embarrassed. Okay, so but they fear this a lot. So they fear this a lot. It's like some kind of a existential angst they carry. And it's like there is this maybe a bright exterior, but within them there is this very insecure little lion, within them. It's a July is also half of a partly a Leo season as well. So it's actually that inner sense of insecurity needs that constant assurance, like from the divine feminine, actually in that way. Like they want to be actually reassured, like accepted, and which is fundamentally that's okay. It's just that until you find your natural confidence, of course these things help others to overcome things, but in the end we shouldn't just rely on our all existence to get reassurance from others. Of course, at some point, the little bird flies from the home, right? So again, this child within energy is coming very strong in both in the divine feminine and divine masculine. So when you assess this collective energy in between divine masculine and divine feminine, you really need to uh, give a vocalize that a child within energy, that inner child energy, because it may create that existential angst in people, and it deserves a closer expression and also inspection. So you divine masculine and divine feminine, really, I mean, there is this also in divine masculine, there is this feeling of being like faithful, you know, to get interested in maybe mysticism, um, to know about what creation is about, or just being, okay, being out of void, um, an idea, an inspiration. If they can find that emergence within them, they can really bring it to the table. They really want their creative process to be valued, acknowledged, reissued. So it's, divine feminine and divine masculine needs to go hand in hand and make each other to get to the home, actually, or where we call home, which is a very divine source energy. So let it be divine then for them. Now I'm going to go ahead and also make a mini spread about the relationship with each other, but I want to get one card for divine masculine to see what they need to surrender. Okay, so what divine masculine needs to surrender? What divine masculine needs to surrender? Also in comparison with divine feminine, but also independently, what they need to. Okay, so there you go, of course. Surrender to low self-esteem. Yes, and that, right? That divine masculine have that little insecurities of embarrassment and not talking about their process. You deserve success, love, and abundance. There is a saying to the divine masculine. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self esteem. Just wow. And actually, it's very interesting how the energies are set. And this mount, also divine feminine, comes with a very confident energy. So which can encourage the low self-esteem in the divine masculine actually to become better. So this assurance, of course, at some point, it can help to the other person. Of course, again, think about this actually not in the personal wise, but more of like collective energies. Now I'm going to get into what is going on in between them, but I need a little break. I will be back. Okay, now let's go back to the reading and talk about what is going on in between them. And for this, let's get also divine masculine cards here, up here, and two cards for now. Okay, I will put the divine masculine here. Now let's get what is going on in between them. Now for this, I'm going to get a different deck. So, no, actually, I will use the same deck, but maybe, okay, we can maybe get some additional cards. Oh, okay. Let's read this one. Okay, let's start with first an oracle card, or again, let's get a symbolic card. Okay. I wanted to use a lot of decks for this, but okay, I will start from somewhere. Uh, okay, so what can you say about the energy between divine feminine and divine masculine? Okay, the first card has just came out. This is Leo Sagittarius energy. Fortuna, Fortuna. You see, there is this jar, like from the depths of the sky. There is this stars are falling down. Fortuna, fortune, and wow, there is actually something like a super abundance in between them, by the way. But it can also go like very extravagant. Actually, they come together, accomplish, and tap a lot of abundance energy, very resourceful energy. Like divine feminine, actually, divine masculine can unlock the very essence of their connection. But once they find out that resource within themselves, each doing the work. So, also, there is this ego, and there is something also beyond ego, like ephoroic, like um, which can be very dynamic. But yeah, no, the individual skills of people will determine the quality of this experience, of course. Euphoria, there is this euphoria, euphoric energy, fortuna, euphoria. And of course, there is a lot of like, uh, this energy is not ripe yet. Okay, it's ripe, not ripe yet, but it is going to be like given if they can really overcome their um, um, blockages there. There is also something with the money and the material well-being of their relationship. But here, money, I speak in terms of not just like money. I'm speaking about the resources which are available to you, available to them, like all the resources in their environment available to them. Actually, they have quite the capacity to serve them. So the connections can take advantage of this, assess that. Of course, this doesn't mean they're gonna just right away use it, not in a Venus retrograde phase, but it's more about like they can discover like something from the source first. But let's see what this is. We have the guides. Guide. Guides energy is they need a direction and a way, so not to rush in things. We have a abandonment, a potential abandonment energy. If they again use this energy not in the constructive way, and then release. Okay, now I think the idea here is mm, they are actually given together some type of good luck. Okay, this month they are given this good luck, and it can really provide them this authentic success. But the guide energy is they need to govern this a bit decisiveness and reasoning, and not to rush in things. Otherwise one can find the other person maybe like too much into the material, but not seeing material as a resource like long term or like a blessing. So greed here can be definitely one of the shadow aspects of this connection. And also the problem here can be people's ego. uh, if the ego goes like unprocessed, as I have mentioned earlier, in between them and this enlarging of ego, it may not serve, it may serve the selves for instant gratification, but not for the connection. So some ego needs to be in check, and there is actually a lot of blessing wise energy here. Something really promising, like a lot of abundance. If divine feminine and divine masculine always continue to like expect the perfect, this is not going to go well. They can expect the best, but the perfect, no, this is going to be a downfall. But they need to choose to actually see the good, because there is going to be plenty much of good in like everything. It's definitely not a time to, you know, there is something with the about the positivism and negativity. So the positive ones, like actually, let's say they invent how to fly in the sky, like they invent aviation, let's say, the positive perspective. But the negative perspectives has invented the parachute, right? So if if one falls, so to the worst scenario, they invented parachute. So the negativity also may be like served that at some point. So okay, we make these people fly now, but let's also invent parachute. What if they fall? So here we need to understand that the energy can be always converted. It depends on your perspective, and there can be something great coming out of this. Uh, but overconfidence also in everything is not good. This can bring some like trouble, like that can overindulgence, and there is something with the overindulgence here, something going also excessive in things. This is the problem here. Okay, in this July's challenge for the divine feminine and divine masculine. Um, they really need to use their resources wisely, not to waste. No need to be in the self-righteous way or like super moralistic towards each other. No need to exaggerate. Okay, so the tarot cards, we have the death, transition, we have the Ten of Cups, mm, and the last card, oh, Hermit. Hermit. Hermit is also my cat's name, who is at the clinic right now. So maybe she wanted to reach us from that because she has always this protective energy in the readings. So I'm very happy I find the Hermit card. This is making me so emotional that I hope she can overcome. Oh, okay. So what we find here, dear friends, now for divine feminine and divine masculine in July uh, 2023, there is this big potential to achieve something very fortunate. But the thing is that there is also like going like extravagant in everything. Uh, for in order to get the essence and the beauties of this energy, first divine feminine and divine masculine needs to let go what is really not working uh, with them, and needs to leave that old ways of relating or being. So people need to transform themselves. They may do their own soul searchings, thinking that they are not ready yet for things, which is okay. There is a here some changes in the way that they find contentment and joy, and this month actually this may be possible by tapping into their own inner child, communicating from this inner child, the child within energy. It can be very beneficial actually. It the energy invokes some kind of a curiosity, um, some wonder and awe for those who will be looking for it, but also it can be quite downfall with the extravagant overindulgence, wasting things, not seeing the good in them, um, or you are like given something very fortunate to you, and it's actually may feel a miracle, but just labeling it like something random. I mean, there are a lot of things to discover for the eyes who are able to see through. um, they may even um, some people can come across divine masculine and divine feminine, even can come across in the phase of their own individual soul searching energies. So it's been time you have been doing your soul searching, and let's say they have been doing their soul searching. There can be something also bringing you together, um, and it may feel fortunate, but it's like it may really give people uh, something bringing you together. It may really give you uh, like a sense of wonder, sense of curiosity for the other person. But it's like both people are in the middle of their own soul searching journeys. It may feel a bit like not completely done. Like a person may say, again, if those also shadows can come out, if still unprocessed things, people can again, as the if we have the guide and abandon and release, people then can also, after some brief maybe encounters, they may definitely uh, find that emotional expression, that watery foundation in their connection. um, they may see maybe some illusions are passing slowly from their relationships. Maybe they may celebrate each other's individual gaining. Maybe um, something may feel intoxicated, but it's like it's half, it's not finished yet. So I think divine masculine and divine feminine in this journey together, they try to maintain their own inner equilibrium together. And um, as that there is no rush for soul searching. It's like when people feel ready, they can release, but they can also give in. So there is actually a lot of pleasures and joys that they can really feel dignified among them, very tranquil. Um, and they can actually see how these energies can connect into their emotions of joy. But it's like there is something within them, maybe that's again the soul searching energy with the wise one, the hermit. There is something needs to be reviewed again. There is something needs to be still uh, some cleans. Maybe we are ending up with the hermit. This is a Virgo energy. This is about our psychic hygiene, spiritual hygiene, uh, our bodily hygiene. So something needs hygiene. uh, this is actually a journey where like souls try to find what is going to like I think both divine feminine and divine masculine is actually quite curious about their own journeys. And they they want to actually, they are willing to nurture and acknowledge the joys that they are given, and they can have these blissful feelings. um, but they afraid that this is going to be unrealistic later, and fantasy and extravagant and losing oneself. It's like it's that feeling, oh, okay, we are now together or we connected, but this is too good to be true. Something is not right about this. It's that this last minute of thing is also, getting in. So yes, that can be release, that can be abandonment, that can be I need to go, I need to find that, I need to find and complete what I'm after. That can be again shadow expressions, that can be joyful expressions, that can be this connecting also with each other's inner childs, that I was of course stressing this a lot in the throughout the whole reading. So it's really this Cancerian Leo-esque childlike energy in the season, in the month of July, under also the astrological transits. Um, uh, People here, we have also the release, right? The release can be also about between divine feminine and divine masculine, some mental fixations. And these mental fixations, as of course Uranus will also now squaring the uh, Venus in Leo. I mean, people may also try to see things, really examine things in a new light. And because there is this willingness to create something new, but there is also this burden of responsibilities. So it's like people in that transitional period. I mean, hermit again, we are ending up with hermit here. uh, so each of them want to actually carry out their plans, responsibilities as well. But At some point now, with again Virgo energy entering in with Mars, Venus, Mercury later, uh, in the incoming part of summer, these all energy needs to go practical and grounded. You know the drill. So now it's that still entertaining. We entertain. It's like divine masculine, divine feminine is entertaining still that ideas and try to find a way out. But um it can be a good time. I tell this from a very comfortable place that at least they can really um, meet for this year at least once what this year is really a fortune for them. So they can really encounter it with something fortunate. They just shouldn't waste it also. This is how I feel. So is there anything we can add to this? I think, oh, we can, for instance, find out what their common energy need to surrender here. So what the common energy needs to surrender here. Common energy of divine feminine and divine masculine, what they need to surrender. There you go. I was always talking about this inner child, Leo, Leo-esque, Cancerian, and there we go. We have the surrender to joy once again for divine masculine and divine feminine. This is what they need to entertain also. A key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling during both the hard and the easy times. Keep surrendering to more joy, it says. Just wow. It really makes sense. Surrender to play. Surrender to play. Surrender to joy. Divine feminine and divine masculine needs to a bit lighten up, it feels from here. Let me see also if I can get a last guidance cards for divine feminine and divine masculine. Mm, let me see what we can get. Okay. So I feel drawn to get this mini oracle deck. Let's find out. Okay, some perspective from this oracle deck. Ancestral wisdom. Wow, makes perfect sense because Cancerian energy, under the Cancerian energy, you are connected to your ancestors. And Cancer energy is very strong when it comes to also ancestral work, ancestral readings, ancestral anything. The Cancer Capricorn axis in general also. Ancestral wisdom over the divine feminine and divine masculine energy is coming also. It's really interesting to think about from this point what sort of relationships that our ancestors have been through, what amount of craziness or like serenity they have seen, like one just cannot stop thinking about it. I remember like in the 19th century, from where I come from, but of course most of the places in the world as well. But this type of stories were like very strong. Like it's like really this Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, Knight of Wands comes and just comes and get the girl, and escaping like together. Like it's and going and starting a family like up on the horses, and you know so the it's I was hearing the stories like the father of the girl wasn't so much willing to you know uh, show consent to her daughter's choice of um choice of let's say candidate. So then the next story is in the village or in the town is like uh, the girl goes like wants to be taken, and let's run together, let's go together, like kidnapping someone, but of course with veal, I hope. Hopefully. So here we have the um, this oracle card. We ask you, we walked the earth many years before you, but this is not 19th century. Even 20th century, this is much more earlier than that, I guess. We walked the earth many years before you. We ask you at this poignant time to learn and grow from your past experiences. Wow. So divine feminine and divine masculine is also here, some past experiences coming out. But this makes sense because in the divine feminine reading we have found that divine feminine is discovering something that moving them emotionally from the earlier times, and this experience want to resurface their awareness. So as it stated here, maybe this is more of like a divine feminine uh, way to connect, or this messages maybe like for more like for the divine feminines. We learn and grow from our past experiences. You are our legacy, and we will keep on helping you as we continue to evolve here in the spirit world. Really, I mean, the evolution also continues at the spirit world, also continues here, um, in different ways. Um, so in this evolving process of both spiritually and materially, divine masculine and divine feminine is now just sharing this part of time and space that it seems they will be opening up to this type of experiences we have been talking about for almost 2 hours. And I'm sure I'm sure they will learn a lot from it. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you, I will continue to come with readings. This month is a very important month for me. It's a very important month for me. I have already talked about it in my community section, also in my YouTube series. So for those who doesn't know what it is all about, what is really important for me this month, please check the community posts and also my stories. You will find there. And it was very, it was really also striking to find the last card, Hermit. So, thank you so much for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you in the next readings. If you have a personal tarot question, you can always come to live streams and ask personal tarot question, because in the end, what matters, what is the most important, is the personal question of you, because in the end these readings are all general. So the personal consultancy is always the most valuable one, please don't forget. But general readings can always give you, of course, general perspectives. And yeah, thank you so much. So take good care and bye for now.